Hello Seekers, my name is Kim and welcome to a pick a card. So for this reading, we're going to be looking into August 2020, what this month has in store for you guys. And to do that, we're going to be looking at both tarot and oracle cards. We're also going to be pulling out hand-drawn charms. So we have 3 groups to choose from, and as you can see, each group has a specific word, and these were words that I channeled as I was shuffling the cards. So the first group is called arbitrate, the second group is called wave, and the third group is called fall. So please do pause the video if you need to. Take the time to meditate, relax, breathe on it, and whatever card or word calls out to you, then that will be your group. And I will see you in a bit with your reading. Let's go. Hello Seekers who chose group number 1, arbitrate. So I will first begin with an intuitive message. So when I was connecting with the energy of this group, I felt a lot of pain and ache in my chest, and I associate this with the heart chakra. So I feel there's recently a lot of emotional upheaval, or maybe feelings of betrayal, or just pain and heartache, relationships. And the words release and let go of expectations were coming through. So I think that's going to be worked on or cleared out in the month of August. All this pain, all this heartache or emotional blockage. Now the word arbitrate, it came out very clear, but I actually had to Google it because I didn't know what it meant. But it means to settle a dispute, to have other people come in to help settle a dispute. So there might be also this feeling of indecisiveness, and maybe making that decision will come in August, or things will be cleared for you. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's deciding between 2 people or 2 things that you're very passionate about, or there's just this heartache underneath having to make a decision. But that's the intuitive message. Now let's look at the tarot card. Now this tarot card is to represent the general energy of August 2020. Oh my goodness. So let's look at the card. Okay, we have 3 of Bows, fulfillment. Okay, so this is one of the only cards in this deck that I have troubles with, because it always reminds me of the decision card, which will be the 2 of Bows. Because I'm always pulled to these 2 paths, splitting, coming into that fork in the road and having to choose which path to take. But right now I'm being pulled to this smoke in the background. And remember, where there's smoke, there's fire. And actually this smoke is represented in the Ace of Arrows, which is the Ace of Swords in this deck. And it's called the breath of life. So that to me represents new beginnings. But this smoke for me represents guidance from universe, guidance from spirit, or guidance from your higher self. It's like having an idea, a clarity, and then finally knowing what path to take, or knowing where to go from there. So I'm seeing that. I did feel like there's this pain or heartache, and this feeling of, with the word arbitrate, this feeling of having to settle a dispute or having to make a decision. Now, I do see this person here, and I feel that in August, maybe you're the one who has to be the arbitrator. Maybe you're the one who will be kind of the, what do you call him, the intermediate of sorts, to help bring peace, because I'm seeing these 2 snakes here, which also come out in this deck, and they represent balance, right? So I'm seeing balance and justice. And so I feel in August 2020 there will be this very coming to this very pivotal moment, to this very pivotal point in your life. You're walking down the road, maybe you're not seeing where this path is going, or everything has been quite the same, or maybe nothing has happened. You feel like things are just generally the same, and then you reach this point, and it's boom, now you have to make a decision, right? But with this tree being represented in the background, and again these snakes, I'm feeling a lot of balance. So I feel that by this point, when you reach this point, there will be this sense of coherence, clarity, and balance within you. The path that you've taken so far has prepared you for this moment. That's why I'm seeing either you will be the intermediate, you will be the arbitrator, or there will be, I'm seeing like a mentor, or yeah, like that teacher sensei energy that will come in and to give you guidance, to give you like that final guidance, that final clue for you to make that final decision. Now I'm seeing it as maybe someone will say something, and maybe that will be your breaking point, that will help you make this decision. Be like, okay, that's it. I don't want any more of this. Like, I've had it. This is like the last straw. And you take a route. Maybe I feel that maybe it's even a path that other people weren't even expecting. Just feels like that. It feels like a decision will be made. And it feels like maybe you've been walking down this one path with your head down. I'm seeing that, in pain or in heartache, because you just don't know or don't want to make this decision. You've been thinking about this for quite some time, which path to take. But I feel like in August 2020, we'll be reaching finally that fork in the road, and you have to make a decision now. You have to take one of these bows, right? Choose them, because then they will become your actual to shoot your arrows, to aim at your targets, to aim at your goal. And when I see bows, I always see them as, the foundation, because they're the ones that keep the arrow steady, right? They're the ones that help you focus your point. And so it's like the determination. It's finally knowing your foundation, knowing what you're going to do, being decisive. That's what I'm getting here with the Three of Bows. So let's say like the general energy of this month of August will be making a decision and moving forward. And I feel like choosing a path is letting go of this alternative route, right? Because I feel like you've been kind of back and forth between which one to take. And you've been holding on to two things. Now, this could be anything. It could be maybe what you want to do for your future career, work. It could be between two people. It could be staying, going, leaving a relationship, or staying in a relationship, a place, a setting. And you've been carrying this back and forth, and it's been heavy on your heart. And finally, you're coming to this balance, and the balance is this knowing. And you're finally choosing one, and in doing that, you finally release the other. Because you know that in order to move on forward to this path, you can't carry this other path with you. So you have to let go of one thing, and you have to let go of one bow. And you're finally doing that in August of 2020. Okay? So now let's get clarifiers. So I asked for clarifiers, but I also asked for let's say pivotal points in August 2020, like hot topics. And we have gratitude. Let's see, this one, I remember I pulled out last. Gratitude. We have wellness in reverse, and we have unfamiliar territory. Okay. Okay. With the gratitude, I'm seeing it as finally coming out of this darkness. I actually felt it like an exhale, like finally being free. I'm seeing this bird was once trapped in this darkness. It's this feeling of being unclear, of not knowing, also maybe of doubts or indecisiveness. And finally, it's like having that spark within, having that answer, or having that decisiveness, like finally choosing, allows this bird to break free. Because knowing the bird can choose, reminds the bird that it has wings and that it can fly, right? As it was in this darkness, it was this feeling of maybe not being able to choose, or not having that power to make that choice. And so he forgot he had wings. It's like forgetting that he has wings and he can fly, that he can set himself free. And I feel that you maybe for some of you in this group lately, you've been feeling trapped in a way. You've been feeling that heartache, that heaviness, because it's like you felt trapped in this situation, or felt trapped in this deciding, or in this one path. But then it's once you realize that you can choose for yourself, once you realize that you can move forward, once you realize that like breaking free from this is making a choice, then you actually break free, you rise like this bird. And now I'm seeing this as leaving old situations with a sense of gratitude. Now hear me out. It's like maybe the situation you were in wasn't all that great, right? Because we were feeling in this sense of darkness. But it's understanding, because remember, I did feel that you've been walking down this path, and this path is what has allowed you, has given you the balance, has given you the knowledge, has prepared you for this decision making, right? So it's being grateful for the path that you have traveled so far, right? Because I always say that energy is never wasted. It's not, it's too smart, it's too intelligent, it sees everything too much to be wasteful. So what you've gone through so far, it was a preparation for this moment, and it was a preparation for your new beginning. Because the Three of Bows also talks about that, like beginning a voyage, finally deciding, realizing you have like the world in your hand. I believe that's how the picture is in the traditional tarot, to set off to a new venture. Like the world is at the palm of your hand, and it's like this bird can fly anywhere it wants because it remembers it has wings. And I feel that's you. Like this path has led you to remembering this about yourself, your freedom, your choices, and you're choosing to move forward. And I'm seeing like the orange colors here in red, and that reminds me of the root chakra and the sacral chakra, as well as the solar plexus, because we have yellow. Now root means about grounding, which we have with this tree here. It's like being decisive, knowing your truth, trusting yourself, trusting that you will always make the right choice. It's having that deep trust with yourself, with your choices, and moving forward with it. And it's also talking about self-identity, remembering yourself, remembering your worth, and remembering your power. So that's what I'm seeing with the gratitude. With the wellness card in reverse, when I see the wellness card, and I see the wolf, I'm always reminded of the lone wolf. And when I see it, it just reminds me of this longing, of this pain, of feeling lost, of feeling detached, or feeling left out or abandoned, right? With it in reverse, I feel you're coming out of that. Now, I'm not saying there will be no more pain or heartache, because I do see that still lingering here, because we do have the energy here, and I still feel that like in my chest, a sense of ache and pain, like a feeling of crying and melancholy, because when we have held on to something for so long, and we become accustomed to it, it becomes, sometimes we feel it becomes a part of us. And so in the moment of saying goodbye or detaching from it, it hurts, and that pain is going to linger for a while. It's like ripping off the bandage, right? The pain still lingers. The sting is still there for quite some time, for a while. And that's what I'm seeing here. But what I'm also seeing within reverse is you're slowly going to come out of that. I'm seeing like a wound being healed as you keep walking in your new path, as you start seeing new sights, voyaging to new places, seeing new opportunities for yourself. This, what you held on to once, is going to become part of the past, because I'm seeing that also with the full moon. And as you move forward, the past stays in the past, right? So there will be a sense of like more distance between where you are and where this thing that hurt you or had you feeling hurt is, right? So it will be distance. And with the unfamiliar territory here, all I'm seeing with this card is that you will be treading unfamiliar territories. Like I said, I'm being reminded now of like the traditional tarot, the man with the world in his hand, with one bow in the other, looking out into the sea, looking out into these ships that are finally coming in. And I feel like that's your ship, like you have this ticket. And it's funny because I was really contemplating on, for the choices, for when you guys pick the groups, I was contemplating of putting this ticket that I have that says admit one. Probably would have landed for this group, because it feels like you have the ticket, making this choice, taking a route, choosing a path. it's finally you allowing yourself to break free. I'm seeing this breaking free here with the bird and with this fish jumping out of the water. It's like finally seeing the world. It's like you were stuck, or you were in this place underneath the water for so long, you never dared to jump out, to peek out, to see what else was waiting out there, what else the world is made of. And finally, same thing like here, being in the darkness, and finally you take that leap, like you break free. And I'm seeing that this new beginning for you, I do see new beginning here with the smoke in the background, is going to be completely different from what you've experienced so far. I'm either seeing traveling or meeting new people, completely new people, like being in a complete new atmosphere that will feel like unfamiliar territory to you, that at times you might feel like that fish out of water, but it's not saying that you're on the wrong path. It's just that you're experiencing something new. You're allowing yourself to finally experience something new. And I feel in that sense, it's like you will see new parts of yourself. You will discover and remember new aspects and new parts of yourself, because now you're allowing yourself to grow, to expand, and to remember your whole entire self, not just one part of you. Because it feels like this path that you were once walking in, you were like always in this one aspect of yourself, maybe in a single mentality, maybe in a single like feeling of pain or emotions, but now you're breaking free from that. I'm not seeing like yeah, breaking free, but also branching out. You're discovering new branches of yourself. Yeah, and then we have one card here, and I was going to use it to clarify this one. It's Passage. This is a beautiful card because we were talking about venturing out, and when the Passage card comes out, it feels super magical to me because it reminds me of like this magical portal. Now this canoe does come out in this oracle deck, and it's always represented in the color green, but here we see it in this like celestial white, like the cosmos, like you're finally stepping out, like leveling up, not only in like maybe in like your situation, your living situation, or your relationships, but it's also leveling up like spiritually. And let me rephrase that. It's not so much leveling up, but it's like expanding. It's like finally opening yourself to this aspect of yourself, because you see how the rainbow has many colors, right? It feels like you've been like for longest time you've been only seeing yourself in this one color, maybe one or two colors, but finally like you're digging deeper, it's releasing layers, and you're realizing that you also have this green, this blue, and this purple, these beautiful, beautiful colors that at the end of the day you look at yourself and you're iridescent, right? You're this rainbow, you're multicolored, right? You're not just two-dimensional. And so with this portal, it's like you're finally stepping into that, stepping into, how would I say, like into your truest self, into your authentic self, and into like this new part of your life. But I'm just seeing it, okay, how do I explain it? It's like, I'm not seeing like what your life is going to look. It's like if you were stepping into yourself, like discovering yourself. Yeah. So that's what I'm sensing here for August 2020. It feels like a big step. At this moment when you make that decision, you might feel that like that anxiety that this is something big, but at the same time, maybe you're like, how can this change my life or my world? Maybe it seems like something small, but it's just, what's so big about this is the choice. It's like, because you chose. That's so empowering, because it's reminding you always have a choice, and you have the free will, and you have the power to choose. And that's what I'm seeing here. It's like realizing that. Now I have one more card, and this card is a direct message from Spirit. It came out in reverse. We have the Anchor, okay? Number 28. 8, 9, 10, we sum those numbers up in numerology. 10 represents the ending of a cycle, the ending of a phase, which is what I'm seeing here, like coming to this moment here of choosing. It's like the ending of a phase, because you're embarking on a new path. You're choosing a new path. So the Anchor, just okay, it came out in reverse. So the anchor for me just represents stability and grounding, but seeing it in reverse, it's like feeling like you were stuck or grounded in a single situation for so long. For so long. It's like the anchor forgot that it was anchored. It was like abandoned there, because I'm like being pulled to how this cord is cut. So it's not even attached to a ship, right? And it's like this feeling of the abyss here in the darkness this anchor was in, or feeling in this like deep waters this fish was in, just like stuck there. And this being in reverse is like finally breaking free, realizing that you don't have to be stuck in a single situation for the rest of your life, because life is about evolving, is about change. And I feel like now you're allowing yourself to change. You know what, this could also be just like dyeing your hair or cutting your hair. And I know like some of you are like, really, that's what I can expect from August 2020? It like feels small, but again, it's like the meaning behind it. It's that empowering meaning behind it, that like you can do this. You have a choice to like even change your appearance. You have a choice to eat something different, to do things differently, to change your life. And just this knowing of that you can choose is very powerful. It's very powerful. And it's like finally, it's like, yeah, I feel like breaking free from it. Maybe now you feel like you could never be your true self, and just doing this thing, it's like, oh, I can express myself. I can choose to be more of who I am. And then you allow yourself to just continue opening up. It's like you open this portal to rediscovering yourself. So now let's look at the charms. Let's move these over here. So this is just to get more information of what's waiting for you August 2020. Boom. And one more. Okay. Oops. So we have a lot that fell out. I'm only getting the ones that fell inside here. So we were talking about traveling, possibly traveling, and we do have the airplane here. Now, I did speak of a form of leveling up, and the airplane does remind me also of ascension. But when I drew the airplane, I did draw it in mind of like traveling long distance. So maybe there might be an opening, an opportunity in August 2020 to travel. I really don't know with the worldwide situation at this moment, but it does seem like a form of traveling, a form of like leaving an old situation. And like I said, even though it seems small, maybe like moving an apartment, even if it is like moving your apartment from like one floor up, right? It's like you're like, that's nothing big. No, it's something big, because it's just like maybe the apartment above you was like prettier, but you never really like pushed yourself to go for it, to ask for that room, because maybe you thought you didn't have the finances, or some excuse was keeping you in your old apartment that you didn't really like. And this is like just reminding you, as soon as you make that choice, as soon as you move forward, it's like you realize you have that power, that you can change your life. You can change your life. And with this needle and the red string, I see this as like the red string of fate. This is either, I see this like either sewing or like stitching things that like tore or kind of fell apart. So, and like I said, you might be the one who might be an arbitrator or like an intermediate of sort, or like mending something that felt broken, right? So it could also be that, because I'm seeing like gratitude here. So it could be that if you choose a path, right, you don't have to leave what you are leaving behind in anger or sadness or hate, right? You can choose to, like, if it's like a dispute of sorts, you can choose forgiveness in order to not carry any of that like heavy heartache with you on your new journey. And this is what I'm seeing, like mending through forgiveness, mending through just like communication. yeah, that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated in some way about guidance. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next moment, bye bye. Hello seekers who chose group number 2, wave. So I will first begin with an intuitive message. So the messages I received when connecting with the energy of this group was incoming like the wave. That's why we have the word wave here. I also saw this vision of a diamond or a crystal. The color blue came through a lot. Yeah, and I felt with this group, I did get like a bit of a headache, and it felt like I had a lot of stress, and it was mostly like all on my neck, mostly on my right side of my body. And the right side I always related to like masculine energy, and this has to do with like working or bringing things into the 3D. Yeah, so there might be a lot of stress in terms of work, but I do feel with the message of incoming like the wave, something is arriving, something new is incoming. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm getting this like person who's not seeing the wave coming in, and it might hit you. It might be like come like a surprise. Maybe you don't even know what it is. Like, I don't feel like most of you are waiting for something, but it's gonna hit you like a wave. And with the diamond and the crystal, just the diamond just reminds me of having so many facets. You always turn it, and when it hits the light, right, you see just so many different colors, and it never quite looks the same. So I'm also seeing this, like seeing new opportunities. Maybe what's incoming for you guys will really open you guys up. Seeing new things and newer perspectives, or this just mean like showing more facets of yourself, getting to know like maybe your different personalities, just realizing, just like I said with the first group, realizing that you're not two-dimensional, right? You're not like a coin that only has two sides. You're a crystal, you're a diamond, you have so many facets that you just need to rediscover and remember about yourself. And maybe that's what will be happening in this in August of 2020. Maybe this wave will bring that out in you guys. So first we'll be looking at this card, and this is to get just like the general energy for August 2020. We have the Knight of Stones horse. My God, this card comes up so much in these readings. So the Knight of Stones. Yeah, okay, so I always laugh at this card because this horse looks just so like chaotic. He looks so scared, like a fly just bit him and he's up and running. Now, stones is earth energy, is grounding energy, but look how this horse doesn't have a single hoof on the ground. He's literally up in the air. He's not grounded one bit. So is this feeling of like being scared, like something just hit you and you're up and running because you don't know where it came from, you don't know what it is, it's so unexpected and it's not familiar to you. Now I'm getting this message. I think I said this message in one of the other general readings. It's like, when this comes in, please try to ground yourself. It's like when a wave hits, like the stones, right, that are in the sea. No matter how much the wave hits, they will not be moved because they're grounded, right? So it's this feeling, ground yourself. Be ready, be prepared. And I feel like you have been prepared, because we see this path here, this perfectly carved for this horse. So it's like the universe is telling you, you got this. Whatever it is, you got this. It's only you not believing in yourself, you not being grounded, you not being, but what I mean by grounded, it's being present in your moment. Not being so much up in your head, and especially not being so caught up in the past. Because if you're so caught up in the past, in your head, in your mind, then you're not paying attention to what is going on in your now. And that's extremely important, because it's like a person who has the headphones on and is just listening to the music, getting caught up in like making maybe a music video in their mind. They're not realizing that they're crossing the street, right? They're not realizing where they're walking, where they're heading, where they're going. A bicycle might come in and they don't see it. And so it's telling you, pay attention, try to be present in your moment. so you can see the details, so you can be prepared for when this new thing that comes in. Because the Knight of Stones is also a persona, right? He's the Knight of Pentacles. So this can be an offer that's coming in that you really didn't expect. You really didn't even imagine. And maybe it's something that you didn't imagine for yourself or expect for yourself. And so when it comes in, maybe you won't even consider it. You would let it just pass you by. And it's telling you, look at the details. Really, maybe consider it for a bit. You don't have to take it because you don't have to do anything, but just consider it, because right now, remember, you have a path paved for you. And so, the universe is guiding you and leading you in this path that will not be treacherous for you, will not be tumultuous, that will be safe in the journey to get you exactly where you want to be or where you need to be, right? But you making either a quick decision, being hasty about it, what it's doing is you're kind of going off the path and into this unpaved road. And the only thing that's going to do is just, it's going to be a bit more hectic for you, or a bit more confusing, right? It's going to maybe take a bit longer for you to get where you need to be, or it's going to feel like it's taking longer, because the Knight of Stones is also a very slow moving energy. But since it's stones, it might be in terms of work or a financial offer of sorts. It feels like maybe even someone coming in to offer you something. Yeah, but I'm just getting the sense of be grounded, be present. Don't make hasty decisions. The Knight of Stones is not about being hasty. Again, I said this is a slow moving energy. So if it's also signing a contract, pay attention to the details. Do not just sign off on something or accept it because you fear that you might not get a second opportunity, or that it might be taken from you. No. Trust that what is for you, what is meant for you, will be yours. That nothing and no one will take it away from you because it's for you. Trust it. So take your time. Things don't have to be done in haste. Okay? Especially if you want to build sturdy foundations for something to be long term. Okay? So now let's look at the clarifiers. So remember, these two cards fell out together. See what they are. We have Journey and we have the Divine. Okay, remember, this came out as a clarifier. And we have Joy and we have Vulnerability in reverse. Okay, yeah, with the Journey and the Divine, we were talking about a paved road for you, right? Being on the path and the universe having carved this path for you. With the Journey in reverse, okay, but the Journey upright, it speaks to me of divine guidance, of where you're heading, where you've been, where you're going is part of the journey, right? And I'm seeing this river here flowing down. So it just reminds me of going with the flow, allowing universe to guide you, trusting, right? Trusting that the current will take you exactly where you need to be. And it's kind of cool because in the Divine, we also have water here. Now, water for me, I related so much with the Divine because we use water for divination, we use it for cleansing, for clearing. It's a very powerful element. And so it also has to do with emotions and the heart chakra and divine, feminine energy. And that's what we have here. And we see how the waters are freely flowing here. It's this river takes you to this waterfall over here. So it's trusting because, again, we have the Divine here. This is the universe energy. This is also divine feminine energy. It's the energy of the universe of guidance is here for you. It's coming in reverse. When it comes out in reverse, I feel it's because either you're not trusting in your own divine power or in your own divine guidance. And so it feels like you're stuck somewhere in this journey, or it feels like you don't have the clarity or the guidance or the directions to where to go next, right? To lead you on the most, let's say, clear-cut path to where you want to be, right? It's not trusting listening to your divinity, listening to your intuition. So, again, I feel like the message here is just, in August 2020, make sure to have your feet firmly on the ground. Make sure to listen to that intuition, to your inner knowing. Pay attention. Also pay attention to the details. Pay attention to what the people are actually saying. Pay attention to their actions, if their actions match their words. Just like pay attention is coming through. And with the crystal, with the image of the crystal I saw in the intuitive message, it's like holding the crystal to the light, to see all of its facets, to see all of its colors. Whatever is coming through, remember, not everyone is two-sided, right? We are not two-dimensional beings. If it is a person coming in, make sure to try to look at them in every single light. Let's say if it's a relationship, like a romantic relationship, and you're taking it up a notch, you're committing in some way, make sure not to fall, right? Like fall in love with the person. You don't want to fall in love. I always think it of like, rather than falling in love, be in love with someone, right? Be in the energy of love rather than you falling into it, because then you fall into it blindly, and that's when like it hurts. So make sure you see this person. Make sure to take things slowly. Okay? This could also be like you're so excited that you're just up in the air or something, because maybe you just see this aspect of a situation, of a person that looks beautiful, that looks perfect, but then you forget about all the other aspects. So pay attention to it, and remember, not just because you see one thing that's like doesn't match maybe like your expectations or what you like, to just set it aside. It's, again, consider all of the facets and make a decision from all of that. This is about patience. This is about sitting down with it and looking at the entire picture, right? Because we have the journey card here, which is showing you the entire picture of the journey, right? And I'm seeing this tent, like patience, like resting, like going in and analyzing something, or observing it, or going in within, like with your intuition, and listening to that, your higher self, or listening to your spirit guides, or to universe, because they're giving you information. With joy card here, yeah, it's like this feeling of success. Like the joy card just reminds me of the sun card. It's like the yes card. It's like, you see, like I said, like leaping in excitement. But again, I'm getting this idea of illusion with the joy card. I don't know why, but we have the stick here. Now, when I used to look at this card, it always reminded me of the magician, because it's like carrying his wand and leaping in faith, right? But here I'm seeing it like this person believes they have this wand, but in reality it's just a stick. And then we have all these clouds here in the background, and it's like, for this moment, in their excitement, they feel like they have complete clarity, but we can still see the clouds. They've just like drifted for a moment, but they're still there in the background. So you're not fully seeing the entire picture. I'm just seeing it like concentrating on a point, like the spotlight, right? Just like looking into like a peephole, or what's it, like the one from hotel rooms, like looking inside and just seeing a single point. But you're not zooming out to see the entire picture, right? So don't say this message of, don't just pass something because it's not what you expected, and don't just take something right away because it looks good at first sight, right? Don't be easily fooled, or don't be easily scared, or don't be so like easily excited. I mean, yeah, be excited all you want, but then after that excitement, remind yourself to ground yourself, so that you could be like, okay, now let's see the situation. Now that I'm more grounded, more level-headed, let's look at the situation. Because when we're excited, we just go with that excited feeling, right? It's that adrenaline rush, and we just go with that. And then when things clear out, we're like, oh my goodness, why did I do that? So be level-headed. With vulnerability here, it's the same message, because vulnerability upright is speaking of like offering your heart, right? Or being vulnerable, opening yourself up. Also like being vulnerable with yourself, being honest with yourself, or what it is that your heart desires, what it is that you want. In reverse, it's kind of having like closing up in a way. Can also be like, vulnerability means speaking about what you feel, your emotions, but it's coming from a very authentic and true space, right? Sometimes we as people, we can get excited, or we crave that connection with someone that we can just easily open up, right? It's not a bad thing, but it's like, remember that it's like where you spend or invest your energy. Be wise about that. Who you're sharing your yourself with, be mindful about that. Okay, so again, I'm feeling like, just be mindful, pay attention, be aware of who you're giving yourself to in this very like intimate and vulnerable way, right? Because it's just you literally giving your heart, right? This and I'm saying like giving your heart in a platter right away, like seeing someone or seeing something, you'll be like, yes, I want it, here it is, right? I'll pay the whole shebang, here it is. And you're like giving your like entire savings to this one thing without looking at the details, without reading the contract, without really getting to know the person, right? So really get to know the person. And remember, try to discern and differentiate between like your intuition, that inner knowing, and that just like excitement, that adrenaline rush that's coming from like the body, from our own expectations. Because I know we have ideals, I know we daydream, we have ideals, and when we see something that matches those ideals, we get super excited and we're like, that's it. But remember to know discernment, to know what's coming from your mind, your head, and what's like truly connecting with you at a soul and like deeper level. Because like our mind is just full of like expectations, what we think we want, but it's not usually like correlated to what we actually need, right? What actually fits us. So that's what I'm seeing here. Also, it's this idea of like, again, it's like so many different messages, but just it's using discernment. I think I had like a similar reading like this before, but it's using discernment. Don't like let a situation just pass by because it doesn't look like that ideal. See it. Put that crystal to the light and see all of its facets, right? Don't just reject something off of the bat because it just didn't check one thing off your checklist. Okay? Perfection, this idea of perfection can also be very blinding, like looking directly at the sun, right? So remember, don't just look directly at the sun, look at all of it that it's around it first. Don't be blinded by the sun. Okay? So, I did have one more card, and it was to clarify, I don't remember which one. We have a duality here. I feel like putting it here. Yeah, we have duality in reverse. Okay, so we have two circles here, two rings, and they're coming together, merging to create this union right here in the middle. And it's also like we have two different colors, and it's creating a new color here. In reverse, I feel like there's this separation. It's like separating these two rings, separating these two circles, because it's feeling like you have to have only one thing. It's again this idea of like either two-dimensional things. But remember, we are not two-dimensional beings. Not every situation is a two-dimensional thing or two-sided thing. There's more to it. There's that crystal. There's so many facets to it. So make sure to merge all of those together to create like this middle point, this space. It's like merging all of the colors, everything that you realize, everything that you observe, everything that you see, the entire picture, it's like right here in the center. And then what comes from there, like this new color that's created, now you see whether you want it or whether you don't, whether it matches you or it doesn't, right? Because with the duality in reverse, I'm just seeing like it has to be one way or the other. Like there can be a balance, right? Because this speaks of balance as well. We also have the infinity symbol here, which means like a lot, like infinite opportunities, infinite potentials, infinite outcomes. And so try to see the bigger picture. Don't see things just black and white, because it isn't like that. Okay? And then one last card, and this is a direct message from Spirit. It came out in reverse. We have extra joker. Okay, when the extra joker comes out, I see it like a ticket, like a free pass. We have it in reverse. This is the same energy. Something's coming in. Something is coming in for you, and it's like a free pass. It's something that really like can shift like your world, can shift how you see things, can shift how you see yourself, but it comes out in reverse. So I feel it's like if they were to give you this, they're saying don't just take it right away, or just like throw it out and abandon it right away, right? In reverse, it's saying take a moment, pause with it, and see it. Truly. Go deep within. Find that merge, that balance, and then decide. Because for some of you, it might be a no. And for others of you who are seeing this reading, it might be a yes. I know it's like, I know I'm not giving you like a straight answer, but that's what it feels like right here. It's just like, you will know the answer, but as soon as you ground. It's just the message of don't be hasty. Just don't be hasty. You're not hasty, all is good. All is good, because you will give yourself the time and the opportunity to digest what's coming through and to see it in its true form, because it will be revealed to you. Its true form will be revealed to you, but that's why patience is important here. Because look, the Knight of Stones is meant to be a patient creature, but he's up in here, he's out of his element. He's not being true to his true being. So be true to your true being. Listen, wait, be patient. Don't be hasty. Okay, so now let's look at the charms. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. Let's look at what we have the sun, we have the camera, the hummingbird, and the microphone. Okay, so the sunflower, it reminds me of the sun energy here, right? Because the sun always turns in the direction of the sun to get the most energy from it. So with the sunflower, I'm just reminded of like either like very upbeat energy, or like being in the spotlight, like always looking for like the best, like the best outcome, or for like the best of the best. That's what's coming through. So I'm seeing with the sunflower like really high expectations, and so it's like seeing only one perspective again. It's like following it. Because the camera here also speaks of that. It's like seeing through a lens, right? When you're looking through a camera, you're not seeing the entire picture. You're not seeing the entire scenery. You're seeing a frame of it. Wherever you're pointing the camera, that's exactly what you're seeing. So again, it's like kind of put this camera down to see the entire picture, because we only take pictures of what we want to like hold on to, what we want to see for like the future, right? So it's kind of being stubborn and just wanting to see what you want to see, but not seeing the truth. And with the hummingbird, we have about like, I also see this as like divine intervention or divine guidance, because the hummingbird, it's like a very spiritual creature to me, and I always relate it to like either loved ones who have passed away, who come in the form of like hummingbirds to give guidance or to remind us that they're here with us. And I also see this like spirit guide energy. So I feel like you are being given signs, you are being led, like you do have this path, and they do want you to go through this path, because it's like the least treacherous one. Like you always have a choice. We see choice here, but like you do have this smooth paved path for you already. And with the with the microphone here, it's just like like speaking your voice, being authentic. Now I also drew this in mind of like singing, like vocal career, like being an entertainer. So again, I was thinking about contracts. So if a contract or an opportunity that you didn't expect comes towards you, please just read the contract, try to read in between the lines, and just really just look at the details. Like they say, the devil is in the details, so be aware. Don't think that this opportunity will pass you, that you will never have your breakthrough if you don't take this. No, because if it's meant for you, it will be for you. So take your time, because you are responsible for you. So be responsible for you and your decisions. Okay? So that's all I'm getting for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some clarity, some guidance. If you are interested in a private reading with me, I do offer personal readings. All the information is in the description box down below. Bye bye. Until the next moment. Hello seekers who chose group number 3, fall. So I will first begin with an intuitive message. When I was connecting with the energy of this group, I saw the image of leaves and then heard the word fall. So it's this idea of like surrendering, allowing for change. This also might be that like actually the season of fall, the season of autumn, that's something that you maybe wanted or wished for might come during that time. But when connecting with the energy of this group, I actually felt it was very hard to like stay focused. There were a lot of thoughts coming through. It felt like too many thoughts, or being all over the place, not being able to ground, or just being worried about too many things, just a lot of information coming through. So again, this idea or like this message of surrendering, or just like releasing and letting go, because again, too much info was coming through and I couldn't center myself. So now let's look at the tarot cards, and this is just to get like the general energy of August 2020. So we have the Sun of Life in reverse, and we have 4 of Vessels, Boredom in reverse. So this was the only group that got 2 cards. Okay. So for the Sun of Life, now don't be upset or sad that they are in reverse, because the energy is still here. I always say that, like, pay in mind that the card fell out for you guys, so the energy is there. It's in reverse because maybe there's some blockage, something that's not fully allowing the energy to fully express itself. So this was a bit like confusing, because we have like this very, we have the Sun, which is very enthusiastic, very passionate, very creative energy here. It's like opening your heart space, like opening up, like creating life. And then we have the 4 of Vessels here, which is this idea of like feeling bored or feeling stuck in one place, or I always see this card as letting life pass you by. So they're very 2 opposing energies, and it's funny because they both come out in reverse. So it's again like correlates with the like intuitive message, or what I was getting when I was connecting with this group. It's like this, like too much is going on, right? It's like I feel like sometimes there's this sense of motivation, or this sense of like feeling like you're having this breakthrough, like you're finally opening up to like change, or allowing yourself to fully expand, or like maybe some of you have been going through the process of like healing, or like this of like spiritual awakening in a sense, and you feel like you're finally going to break through, right? You're finally going to be done with this healing stage. You're finally going to shine, or be that butterfly, come out of your cocoon. But then all of a sudden, like it feels like you go back in. Like one day you're feeling that energy, you're like really high, and then the next day it feels like it feels like this 4 of Vessels energy here, like nothing is going on. Like it feels like you've been on this road for so long and you don't see any change in your life. So it's this feeling of one day you think like finally tomorrow is going to be the day. Tomorrow something's going to happen, something great. And then tomorrow comes and nothing happens, and it's like you go back into like this cycle of, I'm not thinking negatively, but it's like being saddened in a way, like being in this depressed mood. I'm not sensing depression again, but like being in a depressed mood. Or this might actually be this feeling of being very, very like sad, feeling very, very down, because we do have the Sun card in reverse here with the Four of Vessels in reverse. And I feel like this energy might continue into August 2020. But what Spirit wants to say here is we do have the Sun of Life energy here. So they want to acknowledge that you have been making progress. That you have been making progress. Even though you might not see it. Because I'm seeing here like you're not seeing any of the progress at all. Even though you might not see your progress, you are making it. And I feel this is a sense of healing, of like opening your heart space, of maybe also creative energy, like creative projects, like birthing something new, bringing something new to life. And it's like, I feel like you have started it, like you have started your project, but maybe you don't see like the fruition of it. You don't see it advancing. Maybe it's been stuck for you in the same place. And you're kind of giving up on it. You're like your creativity, your enthusiasm for it, your passion for it, it's kind of depleting. But Spirit wants to tell you, to let you know that things are happening, because I put it up right so you guys can see the image. Because we do have water here flowing. You see these vessels here overflowing, right? And water for me always like reminds me of abundance, reminds me of like divine intervention, because like waters can be healing waters, and they're also used for like divination. So it feels like you have like things are working for you in the background, but look, you're not aware of it. See how like all the life is growing around her, but like it's not touching her in any way. And it doesn't mean because she's not deserving of it. It's just because she herself doesn't want to see it, or she herself is not seeing. She's kind of repelling it in a way. But they're telling you it's happening. Things are happening for you in the background, and it's mostly like we're working on it for you. I'm also seeing this like your higher self in a way. Like they're like, how do I say it? You were the one who took the step to open this up for yourself, to open like this flowing energy. Either it was that step to do this creative project, it was that step to decide to change, to heal, to change a routine, to change a mindset. It's just deciding, you know, I want to change. I want my life to shift. I want to heal. And doing that, just stating that out, like making that choice, allowed for an opening. I see that with the heart space here. And it's like as soon as you allow that, or like I want to cooperate with the universe, like, or asking for help, right? Even asking for help allowed for growth to occur. For like finally, like I'm seeing like either like your heart chakra to open, or something to open and activate, for like the universe to finally start working with you in the background. So things are happening. I don't see them like, how do I say this? Like manifesting in your 3D in August. Like you might still feel like things are not happening, because that's how it might be manifesting in your life. Like things might look like they're still going in the same route, but they're telling you, even though it feels and seems that way, there is change occurring, and like big change, because the Sun card here is like the success and the yes. It's the yes card. And we have like, it's beautiful because we have this heart like chakra activation. So that's like when we open our heart, that's like activating a magnet. Whatever your heart truly desires, like bring it in and calling it in. It's like a beacon of sorts for all that you desire, all that you need. And so like I feel that in August of 2020, these cards will not fully be upright, but like maybe by the end of the year, you will start seeing that progression in your physical reality. Yeah. But now let's look at the clarifiers. So one card fell out in horizontal for you guys. And I take the cards and I fall in horizontal because when I see them as like the base, the foundation. So the energy here, the foundation is the star. You see? So this means like wish fulfillment. Like I said, like whatever you want, whatever your heart desires, will come automatically, will gravitate towards you. It will be like undeniable. It will just come towards you. And I'm seeing that with like the star. Like this star is already on its way towards you. I don't see it like landing for you on August 2020, but Spirit wants you to know, like, don't give up. Don't be so saddened, because there is stuff happening for you, and it's big stuff, because this pull to this big star here and this crescent moon here, which just reminds me of like closing of a phase for a new one to begin. And we have this waterfall here. Now if you pay close attention, we have ice here. So this waterfall was once ice, it was closed. So I feel like that, like maybe before let's say your heart chakra was closed, right? It was like frozen, like a frozen heart. But finally, you making this decision, you making this choice to move forward, you allowed your heart to finally melt, for that ice to finally melt, so it can open up. So it's like opening your heart space. And now it's like, you see, there's still some like ice here. So all this needs to fully melt for there to be like free flow, for it to be like a successful flow of energy. So there's still a little bit left. There's still a little bit more to release, maybe to open up or to activate. And once that occurs, it's like all that you've been waiting for, because it feels like waiting energy here, will come rushing in. And we don't only have one star, we have many. Feels like there's one thing that you've been really wanting and wishing for and waiting for. And like there's a lot of other things, but it feels like there's one major thing. All that will come in like slowly. I think like one at a time will just come rushing in, because we see this star already on its way. Let's see the other ones. We have union, and I put these sticky notes because I wanted to remind myself that these two fell together. And we have community, and we have the voice. Whoa, okay. So we have union here. So like I said, it feels like there's something you've been wishing for and wanting. And I was speaking of like heart space and heart chakra. Now this sun does represent like divine masculine energy. And we have the union card here, which for me represents partnerships, relationships, a connection between two people who, I don't like to say fated, but like were divinely planned to come together in this life at some point. And again, the sun reminds me of divine masculine energy. So either you might have been waiting for a partner, this person needed to like awaken in a way or become aware, and this might be like you've been waiting for that, or vice versa. And it's finally like there's still, because it does feel like there's still a little bit more that needs to be worked on. But once that comes through or finishes, then there will be this union. I'm just seeing here like a union. I'm also seeing it like finally getting what you wished for. We also have community here. So if it's not just like a romantic relationship or just this person that you've been wishing for, had in mind, now it might be someone that you know, or it might be just like maybe someone that you felt spiritually, energetically, intuitively, somebody that you dreamed of, because we have stars here. Or it might just be someone that you're like, that partner you've been wishing for will finally come through. But we also have community here. And community just reminds me of like either finding like your soul tribe or a spiritual group, or just finding a family, a community that you can feel safe and at home with, like-minded people, like working for like the same goal, and supporting and helping each other. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing this as like being people from like different ethnicities, from different backgrounds, and finding like coming together, even with like differences, coming together because you have like this like-mindedness, or you come from the same like energy or heart space. You have like the same ideals or beliefs. And with the sun, we have the sun here, sun beaming down here. I'm gonna say it feels like divinely guided, because like the universe is coming through strongly saying here, things are happening. You don't see it because maybe for you, what needed to be worked on with you has been worked on, and right now they're focusing on these other people or this other person because they need to get them to this place as well that you're in or that you will be in, to bring this union about, right? So sometimes our waiting can be because the universe is just putting all the pieces in place. And that's just all that is. Like, they're putting all the pieces in place so that when you finally get up and moving, like, you will be easily led to where you need to like either meet these people, meet this community, or meet this one person. And I see, like, even if it is one person, I feel after meeting this one person, you will also begin meeting like more people that are from your soul tribe, or like this community, or you might enter a community or like a workshop or something of the sort. Maybe something that relates to spirituality or activism or anything, maybe a class or school you go to, and that's where you will meet this one person. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic, but I'm sensing it to be, but it could just be a friendship, like a very close bond with someone. Yeah, like a deep soul bond. And it feels like you promised each other to meet in this life at some point. Yeah. And with the voice here, we also have two light beings being represented here on top of the world. Now with the voice being in reverse, well, when I see the voice upright, it's I always have this visual of like when the mouth is closed, everything is dark, everything is void. Only when the mouth opens can we see that there's life. Right? Can we see like these two people in the world, like a possibility and opportunity? So I always see it as soon as you speak your voice, as soon as you say to the universe what it is that you want, then you can begin manifesting, right? Because our voice, our words are very, very powerful. So like not just necessarily speaking it, but like even writing it, just stating it, just even knowing it in your mind, what it is that you want. It's like it's manifesting, right? And it's bringing something to life. It's saying, I'm saying this as like you saying, I want this partnership. I want this union to occur. I want us to come together. And it's like you stating it. And then it's like the universe hears you and like helps bring this to life. In reverse, I'm seeing like, again, it's kind of stating like it will not be happening in August. That's what they're telling you, because we get all excited because we see union, we see community, we see the star in the foundation, but they're kind of reminding you here like it's on its way, but there's still needs to be some pieces that we need to put into place before this can come through. What I'm also seeing with this, it's maybe like a blockage in the throat chakra because we have blue here, and it's like also this idea of like state what it is that you want, because I was talking about like this indecisiveness in the beginning, like one day being completely up and the next day being down. So if it's a relationship or something, I'm seeing this as relationships actually. So if it's a person that you want a relationship or how you want a relationship to be, and then one day you're fully committed to this idea of the relationship that you want, you fully believe in it, you fully believe you deserve this love, you fully believe you deserve this kind of divine relationship or this kind of divine unconditional love, and then the next day all of a sudden you're like, no, but maybe it's too foolish to think like that. Maybe it's too foolish to dream or to wish for something that big, that spectacular, that beautiful. And then you bring yourself down. It's like, it's like maybe it happens to other people, but it will never happen to me. And it's like you kind of like backpedal, and they're telling you you create this blockage. So it's like, make up your mind. It's like, do you want it or don't you? Because it's like here, it's like floating around in the void. It's about to be ready to be served to you, but it's like saying, I want the cake, I want it. And then it's like, no, but maybe I don't. Maybe I shouldn't eat it. And they're telling you, do you want the cake or do you not want the cake? Because it's like, it's about to be ready. It's about to be ready for you. So state what you want. State it. Because this doubtfulness, this back and forth, you don't want to carry that energy. You don't want it to come in when like the person does come in, or this relationship or this community does come through. You don't want to carry that doubt within you. I'm seeing like a lot of like self-doubt in terms of worthiness. You are worthy of this. Okay? You are worthy of it. You're worthy of it because you yourself like even imagined it, like you yourself want it. It comes from a very authentic space. The star is here, with the sun being represented here, with the heart chakra activation here. It comes from that genuine, authentic space within you. So it is of you. It is from you. You created this. You helped bring this to be. Why wouldn't you be deserving of it? If it is from you, it is of you. You are deserving of it. You just need to trust yourself that you are. You need to accept it in a way. Now the last card that came out is a direct message from Spirit, and it's the Rod, and this is it came out in reverse. So we have the number 30 that represents it's the number 3, so it's the number of creation. It's also mind, body, and spirit. We have the number 10 here. This is the 10 of Swords. Okay, so the 10 of Swords reminds me of like being stuck, or even like the swords remind me of mental energy. So it's even like you yourself carrying these doubts, carrying these insecurities with you, and they're draining you. It's like I know it sounds gruesome, but like whipping yourself in the back over and over with your thoughts, with this feeling of being unworthy, with this feeling of being not enough. Because it feels like your higher self, your heart, whenever you allow yourself to just be, you feel into it and you accept it. Because there's no doubt in it, because it's just so genuine that it's just so beautiful. You allow yourself to just be with it. But then when your mind starts getting in there, that's when it starts tricking you. That's when you start like accumulating these swords. You might feel physically drained at times. You might feel physically tired or uninspired. And it's because of these thoughts. So like I feel that's what it also needs, like the last pieces of ice to melt, is releasing these thoughts. Like stop hurting yourself with these thoughts. Because I don't think the universe is validating this idea of unworthiness. They're validating that this is for you, but you're not accepting it because of this mentality. And the universe wants you to let go of it. To let go of it. So when this comes in, you won't doubt it because it's for you. So now let's look at charms coming for August 2020 for this person. The people who chose group number 3. Okay, let's see. So we have the sun energy here. We have the wheel, the broom, the hummingbird, the sunflower. This is like sun coming out twice, 4 times. And then we have the glasses. So the wheel, this just means steering the wheel in the direction that you want. This is reminding yourself that you have the power. You have the power to change your thoughts. Your thoughts do not control you. Your mind does not control you. Like sometimes we have like this stream of consciousness, and that does not represent you. It's just a stream of consciousness. You can choose to like move the other way. Just let them pass. It's like, what is that Johnny Depp quote in the Pirates of the Caribbean? I was like, I like to wave at them as they pass by. Just be like that. Just be like Jack Sparrow and let that stream of consciousness just pass by. you. I know it's difficult, but you can do it. They're telling you that you can do it. And with the broom here, this just speaks of clearance, like clearing out. That's what I'm here, like feeling here, like clear out this like mental junk that's keeping you stuck, that's keeping you fatigued, that's keeping you down. It's time to clear that out, to make space for what's coming in, for what you've been wanting. And with this, it talks about like spiritual guidance. It talks about like synchronicities or validations. Like maybe hummingbirds are important to you guys, but this is just telling you like spirit guides have been working on this for you. They got your back. They're watching over you guys. They're watching over this union. So don't stress yourself about it. And with this, it's like seeing the situation in a new perspective. See it with like pink lenses for a while. See it like in this like, I don't know, like this more beautiful view, and kind of like put on your glasses and see the truth. Because like I feel like right now you're seeing blurry with all these thoughts that are like causing like mental stress in you. And it's like see the view, see the beautiful view that is awaiting you. And we have like the sunflower here and the sun. Now the sunflower always turns in the direction of the sun to get the most energy of it. This speaks of being like positive, but I also see like again divine masculine energy. And it also speaks of like bringing things into fruition, bringing things into life. It speaks about happiness, joy, being genuine, authentic, being in the spotlight as well. And it says like allow yourself to be like the sunflower, bask in the sun for a while. When you have these beautiful thoughts, these beautiful ideas, bask in it. Just bask in that sunlight, and whatever this brings you, whenever you allow your heart to open, whatever that energy brings in you, just bask yourself in it. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. So this is just like, I guess, like confirmation for you guys, or validation, to not worry, that things are happening for you and that they will come through pretty soon. Not exactly in the month of August, but pretty soon. But you need to, they're asking you to release of this. You don't have to be in this pain. Surrender to what you already know is true deep down. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in the description box down below. Thank you so much, and until the next moment, bye bye.